Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Let's get the face going. Hey! There I am. I celebrated a little too early there. How's everybody doing? Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the Vanilla Survival Bedrock Edition Minecraft world. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Some updates, some exciting news, I suppose. We're working on a castle tour video. I know everybody wants to see a tour of the castle. What's up, Glue? Welcome. We're working on a tour of the castle. Little video. Probably pretty, pretty short, pretty straightforward thing, but, the castle is an area that I walk through all the time, and it's probably not something that everyone has seen every inch of. So gonna have a little video to come out to give people their bearings about that. Stay tuned for that. That'll be very exciting. I've also been playing Baldur's Gate again. I've been playing some more Baldur's Gate. So perhaps if inspiration strikes me, we may see some more Baldur's Gate videos coming out as well. So stay tuned for those. All in all, very exciting. But today, whatever time it may be for you, we are going to do some Minecraft stuff. We're going to do some fun stuff. So what are we going to do? Last week, we did a few different things. Here we are at the spaceship. Yes, the beautiful spaceship. Last time, we went around, we looked at all the different shulker boxes that have all the different storage stuff. But we quickly realized that we were running very low on pale moss and pale carpets, because those are the new items that we just got from the Pale Garden. If you didn't see the Pale Garden video, check it out. It's on the YouTube channel. I had a lot of fun making that one. Definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it. So, the mission last week was to get a moss farm going, because my moss situation was not ideal. I was not able to produce moss in the quantities that I needed to or wanted to. And really, my only other source of bone meal was the skeleton farm. The skeleton farm in the basement, deep beneath the castle, not included in the tour video. So the idea was to make a moss farm that would be able to handle normal moss, pale moss, get all the things associated with those, and then also just be able to create obscene quantities of bone meal. So we made a lot of progress on that last week. We were playing around in a creative world mostly. I didn't want to just like blindly follow a tutorial. I wanted to kind of figure out how to make it myself, using, the fundamental principles of how moss can spread and can be made into a farm. So that's what we did. It was very fun, I hope, or at least interesting. But I kept tinkering with it a little bit after the end of last stream. Pretty much perfected it. I think, more or less. I'm definitely not claiming to have like a perfect, like perfectly optimized, ultimate, Psycraft level moss farm. Not even close. But this will be plenty for our purposes. So that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to finish the moss farm. We're going to bring it into this actual survival world, because it was all just conceptual last time. And this time, we're bringing it into reality. So I'm going to head out of the spaceship storage system base in the end, on the main end island, if you haven't seen this one. I'm also going to change the music over to something a little bit more chill, because we're not in build-up waiting for the stream mode anymore. I should have done this already. Because we're just chilling out. We're just playing some Minecraft. We're just having fun. We're just having fun. And let's see if I do this. Is my game going to crash? No. Amazing. What if I do this? Yes. Okay. Whoops. Hold please. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. We're getting back in. We're getting back in. All right. We're back. We're back. Okay. So we're going to head out of here. I want to head over to the industrial district, which is where we're going to make the moss farm. But the other thing that I want to do in the spaceship area before we get out of here completely is, for a long time in Bedrock Edition, there was, I guess, a bug that made it so that Endermen wouldn't stay in boats. They could just teleport out. I think it was the same for minecarts. I'm not sure if that's changed, but from what I understand, the boat thing has changed. So now, theoretically, you can catch Endermen in boats. And I'm not sure if they also would need to be name tagged, but I kind of want to just do an experiment and just like leave a bunch of boats around here and see if Endermen get stuck in them. And if they do get stuck in them, if they'll stay. Because ultimately, I would like to not necessarily have Endermen around here all the time, because the Endermen being here mean that I have to wear this unsightly pumpkin head constantly when I'm in the spaceship base. To that end, I use a resource pack to remove the stupid pumpkin face overlay, but ideally, I wouldn't have to do that, right? It'd be kind of nice to just have the Enderman contained somehow. Why do you play in Bedrock instead of Java? That's a very good question. Ultimately, what it comes down to is when we first started this world, my one friend and I who started it, he was playing on Switch and I was playing on PC. And I'm still playing on PC, but at the time, and I think still, the only cross-platform version of the game is Bedrock. So that's kind of the short answer. The long answer, or maybe the answer to why, when I started to get more and more into Minecraft, did I not switch to Java Edition, is kind of just because I want to, I don't know, I think Bedrock Edition is the future. I think that they keep getting closer and closer in terms of like parity, like the way that things work in each game. Like there are, when I first started playing, they were very different. There were a lot of little differences that were oftentimes very annoying. But more and more, the Mojang has actually done a really good job of bringing them in line. There are still a few key differences, and those are definitely challenging to navigate. Particularly, I mean, I don't need to get into the specifics necessarily of like the little differences, but ultimately it comes down to like, I know how to play Bedrock Edition and Redstone. I know how to do Redstone in Bedrock Edition, and to do Redstone in Java Edition because of quasi-connectivity, look it up, if you don't know what that is. A lot of people probably do. There's like significant differences that would make trying to learn how to do Redstone in Java Edition challenging. And on top of that, I don't actually think that it's worth learning, to be honest, because I think that I'm sure that Java Edition will be around forever. Clearly, there are people who have devoted their lives to learning and really digging deep into Java Edition. But I do think that more and more, especially since Microsoft took over, I think that Bedrock Edition is the version that they're going to be pushing more and more. So all that to say, it just comes down to the fact that my friend played on Switch. So here I am. I am in the position that I'm in because of that. So let's make a bunch of boats, and I'm just going to scatter boats around this place. Okay, nice. And hope that some Endermen get trapped. Because it would be nice to be able to corral these guys and put them somewhere else. I don't know. Like in a perfect world, there'd be something fun that I could do with them. Like making a security system or even just decoration. But what I don't love is having them constantly be getting in my face, especially when I forget to put the pumpkin head on, because then it makes this base significantly more dangerous than it should be if it's actually going to be my, like, you know, if this place is the end game base, right? Like if we're going to be spending all of our time here or a lot of our time here between projects to restock and everything, I think it would be important to have this place be as safe as possible and as easy to jump in and out of as possible. So not necessarily needing to remember, oh, if I'm in the nether, I got to put my, yeah, what a humiliation. Watch the Pale Garden video if you haven't. But, you know, not having to switch constantly between the gold helmet for going through the nether and the carved pumpkin for being in the end. It would be nice. So that's kind of the goal. Did I leave any? Did I craft all of them? No, I guess I can craft 2 more. And then I'll dump these guys back in here. All right, we'll get 2 more. 1 there. And for good measure, we'll put 1 up here too. Why not? Cool. So we'll see if these catch anybody. Is anybody caught yet? Is anybody caught? Hello? Go in a boat. We'll see. But anyway, we can get out of here. We can head off to the main location for the day. So I'll jump through the end fountain, take me back to my last bed, which just so happens to be perfectly in the main storage area of the castle base. As I mentioned before, stay tuned for a castle base tour video. I've set it on stream, which now means I'm committed to finish editing it, which is probably a good thing. And unfortunately, I can see immediately, it looks like my trident fell down from my little hidden mob farm here. So I guess I'll put that back. One of the things that you just have to do with this game is if you see something broken, fix it right away. Because if you don't fix it right away, it just goes on the list, you know? It just gets put on the list of things that maybe I'll get around to fixing someday. We're looking all right otherwise. I'll just put this back in here. And you'll get to take a glimpse into my redstone spaghetti back here. There it is. Ooh, ah. Okay. I'm gonna just let those guys despawn. SpongeBob watching us from afar, as always. Love to see it. All right, hopefully those zombie villagers will have despawned, and hopefully nothing else new spawns while I throw my trident back in here. Oh, I guess maybe there were 2 in here already. I'm gonna check the guard that one too. Oh, let me out! I'm in the blender! I'm in the blender! Oh, I'm in the blender! All right. Did I get it? Yes. Nice. I gotta make sure I throw these in here real fast before a creeper spawns on my head. Because this is a little hostile mob farm here. All right, we'll let this has like a little circuit that recycles. Nice. Looks like they're going. Looking good. Okay. That thing helps me get just some passive drops and experience. Basically, whenever I walk through the front door into the storage area, it's just perfectly positioned, and this was an accident, but it just worked out perfectly, that the experience that gets released by those guys being in that trident killer there, I actually can reach it when I walk through. So I can just kind of, if my tools are just like a little bit... Wait, what? I thought I threw all the tridents in. Were there 3 tridents in there? All right, 1 more, I guess. All right. We'll put all 3 tridents in there, I suppose. I only thought I had 1 in there, which probably means that they've just been falling down constantly and and like getting stuck in the block somewhere. There's some weird bug that's extremely annoying that I've been tracking on the issue tracker about tridents falling. Quick question for the audience. Let me do this real quick so I don't lose the thing. Sorry for the aspect ratio change. I changed my video settings up a bit recently. I'm just going to give a quick check to make sure that things look okay. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. All right. Cool. Okay, so we are headed out. I can take this off. I don't really need this on right now either. I'll keep the totem on because who knows? You never know when you'll die. So we are heading out the north door here to the industrial area. Hello, cow. And this, as I'm sure you've seen, is the industrial area. All of our, we're processing wood, we're making mud and clay, all that. But if you hop through the chain link fence, here we are at the kind of more industrial area, like more kind of Minecraft industrial. We've got the gold farm, the iron farm, the cactus farm, and right here, I want to put the moss farm. So what I want to do first is just put up some chests for this. And I guess I got to put in a floor. This thing I'm not going to use. This is kind of an old thing. I think I mentioned this last stream. Basically, the original idea for this area was I would be able to just stand in the middle and send minecart chests out with like shulker boxes that would go pick up stuff from the various farms here and bring them back to me. There was an update that broke them and I never fixed them. Speaking of why you got to just fix things as soon as they break. But so that's not really working right now, so I'm not really too worried about it. You can see with these ones, the items pretty much just stop here. Like everything below this, these are all locked hoppers, so I'm not even gonna mess with that. I'm just gonna fill that whole area with glass and just call it a day. Eventually, maybe I'll get back and rework these things, but that'll be a project for later. Oh, by the way, how'd Daredevil go? That's a good question. I actually really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I went in with tempered expectations, but an open mind. And right in the beginning, I was like, I don't know how they're going to do this because they are trying to recapture the magic of something that the Disney Plus Marvel machine just like does not have the ability to capture really. But it surprised me a lot, multiple times throughout. And they were good surprises that got me more excited for what was going to come. And the second episode, I think, had me fully hooked. Like I was hooked by the end of the first one, but I was like, it could be the case that there's just a good pilot, or not pilot, I guess, but like good first episode. And then some of the Disney Plus shows, they'll have like a strong first episode, but then kind of meander for a while. And I think episode 2 of Daredevil Born Again, definitely, I was like, oh, okay, this is what they're doing. And I think I'm on board for this. Like I think it'll be fun. So overall, I'm excited. Next episode's tomorrow. I'm excited to watch it. And I think that's, just about as good of a sign as any. Okay, so let's do this. We're just going to first just fill in this whole area. Not fill in the whole area, but make a layer of glass here just so that we can build on top of it and not have to worry about any of that nonsense. Like I said, eventually maybe I'll rework these things, but certainly not going to happen today and probably not going to happen anytime soon. So let's get out some things. I think we're going to need, I'll just grab out like the boxes that I have filled, which are the basics box. Beautiful. As you can see, we need more pale moss carpets. That's part of the purpose of this project. We got the stone box. This will be good because I'm going to use some cobblestone for this. I'll probably need more cobblestone, frankly. We will grab the wood box just in case we need wood for stuff. Grab the redstone box. Definitely going to need that one. What else do we need? I guess, yeah, we'll probably have some... We'll certainly need at least some moss and or some pale moss blocks to get that going. And I think that's pretty much the rest of them. I guess in case we need some iron or something, we got this one. So I'll do that. I'll throw a shulker box here for trash. And let's get out like a crafting table. That's a stone cutter, but sure, why not? We'll grab a crafting table. We'll grab a stone cutter. We're doing a building project. We're getting prepared. This is our mise en place. You got to be crazy strong because I was bawling my eyes out the first 10 minutes. Oh, cool. So you watched it. Yeah. I don't want to get into spoilers just in case there's people, who haven't seen it, but I can see why they made the choice that they made. I'm hoping that I'm like thinking maybe there's going to be another shoe that drops related to that. We'll see. But ultimately, Yeah, I think it was a good push to set the new series aside from the old series and really say like, okay, this is not the old show. We're doing new stuff here. So I was surprised, but I think I think I was okay with it ultimately. And I'm also like, I'm not completely convinced that, I don't know, maybe this is foolish optimism, but I'm not completely convinced that what happens within the first few minutes of the episode is going to stay that way forever, but we'll see. Is this multiplayer? This is technically a multiplayer realm. It's pretty much just me and one other friend who work here. But mostly it's basically single player. I love how the stonecutter was just some obscure block that somehow just resurrected itself. Hey, I will take it. Any block that they give more use to is a good thing in my book. You can see what I don't have in my bundle is the fletching table. Okay, so the general principle behind these little storage things is that basically it's just like, you know, some slices of chests. We have 7 slices of chests, and then the last one goes into a dropper, which can go into lava. That's to like if there's junk items. So for instance, from the iron farm, I have so many poppies, which I will never use. So the overflow poppies just all go in here and get trashed because I will never need that much red dye. And you can also see that these 5 slices here on this one have crafter attachments so that they are they're crafting iron ingots into iron blocks. I don't think we're going to need that here. I'm kind of going to do all the crafting and stuff up higher in the farm. So really what we're going to do is just fill this with a layer of glass and then put in these chests and then go from there. So that's the plan. Here we go. I have glass here. Excellent. It's so nice to be adequately organized. I probably should have done this ahead of time because this is going to be probably the most tedious and potentially uninteresting part of the entire stream. Just filling this hole with glass. But hopefully we'll breeze through it. And hopefully I don't run out of glass. I guess I might. Is this bigger than 2 8x8s? No, I don't think so. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to do, which I might not be able to, I'll give it a try. I have an add-on, not an add-on, but a resource pack that allows me to view chunk borders using an armor stand. So I'm going to try that just so that I can make sure that I'm keeping this whole farm within a single chunk. Just to make sure that I don't run into any weird issues. I'm not really concerned about it with this farm in particular, especially because I know that like the center of it will definitely be within a single chunk, but if I can just keep it in a chunk to be sure, it's probably worth it. Oh, and I keep misplacing my glass. That's not a good sign. And we're also running a little low. But I think I have a whole other stack. Beautiful. Oh no, that's it. I'm out. Well, okay, let me go get some more glass. I won't go all the way back to the spaceship for this. Don't worry. I think I have some glass in the castle. So let's grab some. And it's raining, which is horrible for my video quality. So let's sleep while we're here. Nothing like some shut-eye. All right. Let's go get some glass. This is the old, quote-unquote, old storage system. Hopefully this will be enough glass. But it's not really old. You know, I still use it a lot. The spaceship is the new one. I'm working my way into that. Nothing like a nice fly around the industrial area. All right, let's wrap this up and then let's get into the fun stuff. Placing some glass. I wasn't sure if this was covered or not. So now I know it was not. There's probably a smarter way to be placing these. Like this. Yeah. Right. Okay, cool. So now I want to put some chests down. Let me put my glass away. I guess I have some extra scaffolding. I'll just throw this stuff in here. Cool. So I'm going to do, I guess, I don't think I guess it might be nice to have trash for like the miscellaneous seeds and stuff. But I think for now, nah, I guess I will. I guess I'll do the trash thing. It's probably, it's easy enough to do. So how does this work? It's just a chest and a hopper and a dropper facing down and lava. I'll just do, I'll just put the dropper in. I don't think I need to put the lava in yet. I can do that later if it turns out there's a lot of trash. So let's just grab a bunch of chests, which are in my redstone box. And we'll grab a bunch of hoppers. And I'll grab a dropper. And then I just want to make sure that these are in line with... Oh, also, I guess a crafting table right there. It's kind of a cool thing. So let's do that. I don't think I have... Yeah, eventually I'll have a box that just has a bunch of crafting tables in it. For now, I don't have that. So I'll make some out of bamboo, my most renewable wood source. I should have made bamboo. I should have made rafts in the end, honestly. All right, let's make a crafting table. Let's throw it here. Beautiful. Do you use some sort of 3D rendering software to make your profile picture and Minecraft thumbnail, or are they expertly cropped screenshots? It's an interesting question. And thank you for noticing. I'm very it's a very stupid thing that I do. In here, there's this dressing room, and you can go, I don't know why, I have like a weird looking pirate version of myself. I don't know what that's all about. But basically, if you go here, you can angle yourself and do, I guess not in this view, but in here you can do emotes and stuff. And so what I do is what I should do if I were smart was just like record and then pick a still. But instead what I have been doing for like thumbnails is clicking the emote, frantically positioning myself perfectly, and then taking a screenshot, which is probably pretty silly. But it's been working for me so far. I'll definitely need a better system for that eventually. But yeah, for the new profile picture, it's that it's just that same thing. Just expand it out, and I just kind of made sure I was looking at a nice angle. And then I touched it up a little bit in Photoshop, you know. Thanks for the crush. Exactly. All right, let's put in these chests and stuff. Let's see, we got 5 spaces, and then we have 4 chests on the side, 1 in the middle, 2 chests on the thing. I guess this is how I power the trash thing. I have like a little piston observer clock that just powers the dropper and does the trash. I guess I might as well make that thing. Though I don't have the lava currently. I'll have to grab lava from the castle. Let's see, we need 2 observers. We need a sticky piston. We'll grab a bunch of cobblestone to use as our building block, just because that's what I've been doing and I don't want to break the tradition. Though it's kind of annoying because I now have way more stone than I have cobblestone. I really need to like go mining for cobblestone, which is crazy. And I'll grab a lever. I think there was a lever on there. All right, let's do it. So if I remember correctly, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have boom, boom. Actually, I think they're only like this. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, was it? Yeah, 4, 1, 2, and then the thing. All right, 4, 1, 2, and then we'll have a dropper going down, which means I need to go in here, which is horrifying. Oh, I've already got a little lava hole. That's nice. I wonder if I can get in here in the one wide with a trapdoor or something. In theory, I can, but it's probably not worth it. let me just drop into here. And then I'll do this. Is it going to go down? Yes, perfect. Wonderful. Now I can't get out. Nice. Okay. That'll go there. I guess I needed to put a piston. If you want to make your skin do specific poses for thumbnails, there are like Minecraft plugins for Blender and a super... Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Blender seems very intimidating to me. I played around with it a little bit when I was like a kid and did not get very far. I made like the weirdest looking stick figure you can imagine. I guess I'll grab a redstone lamp as well. But that's a cool idea. Thanks for suggesting it. I can look into that. Oh, I don't have any redstone lamps. How do you make those? Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna skip it for now. It's not necessary. I don't need to be building this trash receptacle anyway. All right, let's start to do this stuff. So we got hoppers going into all of these. And then we got more chests on top, right? Let me just make sure I'm doing this the same as the other ones. We just have a bunch of chests on top and then hoppers going into those. Chest hopper, okay. Yeah, it's pretty basic. Pretty basic. Boom, 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 boom. And boom. And then hopper, hopper, hopper. I don't really know exactly how I'm going to allocate these chests. Like the way that a lot of these work is like you can have different items filtering into different slices, which in theory is useful, but in practice, like my farm's these ones all just pretty much only produce one thing. Like we have all this cactus. And so because of the way that I did this, it like evenly distributes all the items into all these chests, which is, in my mind, it was smart because I was like, oh, you know, instead of having to reach all the way up here, I'll just be able to like get stuff out of the bottom ones. But in practice, it's kind of like, it just means I have to look at all of them because I never have full chests. I was a little overambitious maybe when I was planning out how many items would need to go in here. I also didn't anticipate the crafter, which came out long after I like started this area. So like the idea that, you know, the gold nuggets from zombified piglins can be crafted into like gold ingots was not something I was anticipating. So I was expecting to need a lot more storage. But what can you do? Still fun, and I like the consistency of them. I think they look cool, like as modules. So I'm just gonna keep up with that. Let's get up here. Let's do another row of chests. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And some hoppers going in. Also, like you can see, you know, I'm not even doing double chests here, so it's kind of, I don't know, a little bit ill-conceived maybe, but I came up with a lot of this like many years ago, so take it in. I'm taking it in stride. Okay, so that is the storage chests. And then on top of that, if we look at this one for inspiration, this is that like, oh, okay. This is the kind of distributing system that I was talking about. Basically, the items are coming in from this side, and we have item filters for different things. And then in this case, right, it's like string, which this farm used to produce when there were a bunch of cats getting in there too, for some reason. Thankfully, whatever bug that was is not a thing anymore. So there's no cats in here. But we do have poppies going in this slice. And then, okay. And then these 5 slices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are all iron ingots. And in this one, we have the crafters crafting them into iron blocks down below. But I think what we want for this farm probably is like, I don't know, we could do normal moss, pale moss, and then like bone blocks for the remaining 5. Or we could do like normal moss, moss carpet, like pale moss carpet, 3 things of bone blocks. Or if we were feeling really ambitious, we could do like moss carpet, azalea bush, flowering azalea bush, then pale moss carpets, then just 1 slice for bone blocks. I don't hate that. Realistically, I think this amount of storage space would probably be plenty. Like, yes, this farm produces bone blocks pretty fast, but it's not going to be insane. So maybe I'll start there, and if I end up needing more room, if by some miracle I end up needing more space for bone blocks, I can add another slice. And then we'll have trash come in here, which I think will be seeds mostly, because I think everything else will then have a slice. So let's do that. That sounds fun. Let's get some item frames. I don't have an official box yet that has item frames, but I should have some in here. Nice. Nice. All right, let's put some item frames on here. They are invisible in this world. That is just... I talked about this in the last stream, but that's just... It's more versatile to be able to have item frames be invisible. I use a resource pack for that. Unfortunately, I don't have the granularity of being able to make some visible and some invisible like they do in Java Edition with add-ons and stuff, but this works fine for me. So I'm fine with it. Okay, so we'll do that. We got, and just so that my brain can keep track of them, let's grab some pale moss blocks, some azalea, some flowering azalea, and from here we're going to grab, oh, my one pale moss carpet. I think I need to save it. Or I guess I can craft, actually. I can craft some more from the pale moss, right? Cool. That should be enough. So I'll leave one in here so I don't lose that space. I'll grab these as well. So then, yeah, we're going to do... This will be nice because we'll get a little bit of a color gradient too. We got... Did I not put... Oh, I didn't put an item frame on here. All right, so we'll do moss blocks. I was shifting. Whoops. We'll do moss blocks there. I didn't grab any moss carpets or make any. Oopsie. We'll do moss carpet next. And then how about azalea, flowering azalea. This will be beautiful. Then pale stuff. Pale moss carpet, practically invisible. Then last but certainly not least, bone blocks, which, like, do I have any? Like, I guess not. Oh, no, I do. I know. It's in my nature box. I remember things. Yes. Awesome. I put them there. I organized them to be like that. Okay. And then this will be seeds, I guess. But I'm not going to go get seeds just for that. Eventually some will come in here and that'll be fine. Is there any easy way to find fossils in the real world? So I guess by fossils, do you mean like the bone structures that you can find buried in the overworld? I have no idea if there's any way to find those other than like looking at Chunkbase or something. Like there's online tools where you can put in your seed. And I think Chunkbase, for instance, can show you like possible fossil location, but I've never tried that, so I'm not really sure. Ultimately, like, it's easy enough to get bone meal from composters or bones from skeletons, so I wouldn't want to like go dig up a fossil just for the bones, but it could be cool to find one just to like excavate it and make like a paleontology or archaeology, I guess, but yeah, paleontology, site or something. Okay, so from here, I guess I'll set up the item filters, and I don't think I need, because I'm going to have different items. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to have 7 different item filters. So I don't actually need this thing, which is this thing evenly distributes the load of items that fall into this filter among these 5 slots. That's why here, for instance, these 5 slots of iron, you can see I've got just about 5 blocks of iron in each of these chests. Realistically, I shouldn't need that here. So I think I can leave it off. Right? How does this work? How does it work if normal stuff comes in that's not? I'm kind of wondering if this system actually works as intended. I feel like it probably does. I think it actually, yeah, it might not really work as intended because this should really only be going to like this far, right? Because these ones should be able to pull stuff. I don't know. I'll think about that some more and maybe figure it out. I might have misdone something here, but basically what I'm going to do is just put some item filters at the back of this, and I guess I've got 1, 2, 3 hoppers coming out of the back of that chest, and the third one, 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one is the item filter. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Let's do it. Let's do it. I need some comparators. I need some more glass. I need some repeaters and some torches, and I should get rid of all this. I guess I'll hold on to it now. I need to put them in the item filters. But I'm not going to need this observer for now, so I'll dump some of this stuff back in here. Cool, cool, cool. I think I'm done with the item frames for now. What I should be doing is just throwing all of this stuff into a bundle, a storage bundle, instead of trying to put it all back. That would be the smart thing to do. That's what bundles are for. All right, let's do it. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we will have our filter hopper. So I keep falling. I keep thinking I'm holding shift, but I'm not. Okay, so this is just the classic. This is kind of I mean, it's a variation of the classic Impulse SV item filter, but the principle is exactly the same. Basically, we're going to have a hopper pointed into here. This is going to have our filter item. Whenever there's enough of the filter item in there, it sends out a signal that is 3 strong. 3 strong? 3 strong? A signal strength of 3. Let's get under here. Oh man, I keep falling. I don't know. I feel like my keyboard is driving me off of cliffs right now. So let's see. So this item filter works fairly simply. And the way that we build it is just like, we need a block there. And now I can go over here, I think. Cool. So the way this thing works, I'm cursed. All right, the way that this thing works is we have, this is going to have the filter item in it. Once it hits like 41, 42 of the thing, plus some placeholder blocks, it will start to emit a signal strength of 3. And I don't have any redstone dust. I'm going to need that. Definitely going to need that. Cool, cool, cool. So how far out can I go? Nice. All right. So, man, building and survival is so annoying. So we're going to have, here's the first one, right? Signal strength of 1, signal strength of 2, and then signal strength of 3 comes down here. That will then turn off a redstone torch, which is here, which is why I use glass here, because I don't want this torch to be powering this. If it did, this would cause a redstone torch burnout cycle, and it would be not what we want. So we'll do that there, and then throw a repeater here. And so you can see, normally, by default, we've got this block powered, meaning this hopper is powered, which means it's not pulling anything from above, because hoppers always pull from above if they're unpowered. If I throw in some random filter blocks here, just to keep this to one slot. Now, if I put in this full stack of moss blocks, that will power it up to at least signal strength 3. In fact, exactly signal strength 3, which will turn off this torch. That will disable this repeater, unpower this block, unpower this hopper, meaning this hopper will start pulling stuff in. As soon as this signal strength goes from 3 to 2, the torch comes back on, the thing locks again, we stop pulling stuff in. And that happens to be right around 45, exactly 45 items, meaning 41 here and 4 here. So if I dump in these moss blocks, you'll see that happen. Right? It's unpowered, it's pulling stuff in. And as soon as it gets to 41, it stops. And that's the general principle behind one of these basic item filters. The original like Impulse SV one doesn't, I think it does it a little bit differently. It has the torch like out here, the repeaters in a slightly different configuration, but in my experience, this is one that works very consistently in Bedrock Edition. So this is the one that I generally use. It's maybe not completely flawless, but for my purposes, it has been plenty reliable enough. So I'm going to build this same thing. How many times? 7 times? Shouldn't be too bad. This is one of those instances where doing it in assembly line fashion will make it way easier. Just doing all of them at once. From the bottom up. Cool, cool, cool. So we can drop these repeaters here. We can pull these blocks out here. Same over there. Throw in our torches. Thankfully, I have a lot of redstone resources. I have a witch farm that is pretty good and only got better, I guess. I think they just increased the redstone drop rate for witches, which is very exciting. I am not hurting for redstone at the moment, which is really nice. We do all that, and then we put our comparators in. This looks very complex. Honestly, it looks complex, but it's not too bad. It's just a bunch of little small things that are relatively simple in what they do, and they're all coming together. All of this under here, we're not focusing on right now. That is old stuff that doesn't really work properly at the moment. What we're doing right now is just building a moss farm that is going to get all the different get all the different kind of results from automated moss farm and organize them into different slices so that we can, whenever we want to, if we need moss, we just come grab it out of here. If we need bone blocks, we just come grab it out of here, and so on. And so what we're doing to get that to work is just building these little individual item filters. And then that way, any items flowing in here, they'll be able to filter into the correct slot. So for that, we just need to put a bunch of hoppers in. And we're almost done. Cool. So the last thing to do is to put in these hoppers at the top. As you can see, these ones are all locked at the moment. And that means that, they're not going to pull anything from these hoppers. We just have to set up the filters, and it should be pretty straightforward. And then I guess for the trash, which is mostly going to be seeds in this case, we don't need a filter. We can just, anything that doesn't filter into any of those slices will just go in here. So from here, let's just set these filters real quick. I probably shouldn't be using cobblestone for this because I have like a slightly limited supply, but I guess I'll just, honestly, yeah, no, I shouldn't. I should use something smarter. Let me grab something that I have a ton of, like for instance, how about normal stone? I have a ton of normal stone. And let me also grab an anvil, and I'm just going to rename this to something else. And let's just rename this stone to subscribe. Subscribe. renaming it means that if any normal stone happens to find its way into this system somehow, it's not going to mess up my filters because it's not going to stack with these. So I can just throw in this subscribe thing here, and I don't have to worry about anything messing with that. So let's do that. Let's do our moss carpets. Let's do our azaleas. And as you can see, because I put in more than 41 of them, the filter unlocks and they're going in. And it should stop right at 41 again. Beautiful. Then we have flowering azalea. Again, same deal. And the nice thing about this design is that like these will never interfere with each other. That's why you kind of want to do signal strength of 3, because you know, 1, 2, 3, it could go over here, but it's not going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way down here and mess with the one next to it. So this is a nice little one wide tileable system. Then let's do some pale moss. And then let's do, and I'm actually going to keep one piece of pale moss because I'm going to need it for the farm itself. I guess the same is true for the actual moss, but I can grab some. And then pale moss carpets. Lastly, the bone blocks. And that should be the item filters all done. The next thing that I have in these systems is this thing here, which is like not necessary for what we're building, but basically what it is because I have this system down here that evenly distributes the drops, I want to make sure that I'm not like, whenever I get one iron, hi fella, by the way, sorry for your, I appreciate you. Thank you for your sacrifice. Yep. All these iron ingots are going to flow in here, and this system makes sure that they stack up a little bit. So you can see they stack up to like some amount. I'm not exactly sure. It looks like it's maybe 1, 2, 3. This might also be 3. So once there's like 41 of these, then it will let them all go, and that way it'll evenly distribute them. And doing it that way just makes sure that I get an even distribution rather than just like one comes in and it just goes in the first slot, one comes in the first slot. Again, like a little over-engineered. It's not really necessary. And I definitely don't need it for this moss farm that I'm building. So what I'm going to do is just mostly ignore it and just put in these hopper lines normally. I'm going to leave it, I'm going to like build it so that I could add it on if I want to at some point. But for now, I'm just going to kind of mostly ignore it. So basically, I just need a hopper line going across all the way, go up 2 hoppers, and then I can kind of do whatever I want. So let's do it. Going back up, we're going to have a hopper line that goes like this all the way across. This is the one that will actually... Oh, and I'm out of hoppers. Oh, no. Oh, and that's all my hoppers. Wow. Okay. Well, I think I need to go grab some more hoppers. I think I underestimated how many hoppers I was going to need for this project. So I will do that. But this is kind of perfect timing, because I'll go do that. And then I want to hop into the creative world just for a second to show the little revisions that I've done. But first and foremost, I guess I don't need to go get more hoppers. I can just craft more. Minecraft. I can just craft. All right, I have a bunch of chests. Let me just make more with these. I should have a fair amount of iron. In fact, I do. And that's the point of these shulker boxes. I'm supposed to be able to have everything I could ever need, mostly. All right, nice. Basically a full stack of hoppers. I can put this back. Look at that. I didn't have to go anywhere. I can finish my hopper line. I was prepared. Cool. So I will do this like that. And then again, just to make sure that I could add that thing if I ever want to, I'll have a hopper going in there. It doesn't matter because this one's just, the bottom one is just going to pull from it anyway. And then we will have hopper going in here. And then basically this will be the input into the farm proper. So in theory, anything I put in here will be automatically sorted. and I just put stuff in there without even really thinking about it. Well, this is a good test because these should get sorted into the overflow trash receptacle, basically. And if I wanted to test with something that I have plenty of, like these moss blocks, let's grab them, just make sure it's all working. It's always good to test along the way. Otherwise, you have more possible things that could be causing the problem later, right? So let me throw the moss blocks in there too. So what we should see is my hoppers, and it should end up in here. And there they are. Nice. Nice to have those back. And then those moss blocks should be filtering in as well. Nice. Awesome. It's working. Cool. Awesome. So I'm going to sleep, I guess. And then let's hop. Oh, right. There's monsters nearby because I still have my horse friends down here. Hi, guys. You're still there. I'll go to a further bed. It's all right. All right. So what I want to do now, before we continue this build, we're making good progress here. You can see we've got a big part of the foundation. And it's looking pretty magnificent, if I do say so myself. There's definitely like more hoppers than are necessary. If I were just building the most simple version of this thing, I wouldn't need like, I think there's like 2 extra lines of hoppers or rows of hoppers that I don't really need. But in case I ever want to add on this like even distributor system, this will allow me to do that. So I'm just trying to build it in a way that I can upgrade it easily without having to rebuild the whole farm. You know, that's like worst case scenario. So cool. So we're going to jump into my my studio here for a moment while I switch over to the sandbox creative world. And here we are. And this is the farm that I was working on for the better part of last week's stream. And I've modified it a little bit. I've kind of, this is as far as I feel like working on it. This works well enough for my purposes and works pretty well. So how's it work? What did I change from last time? Well, first things first, we've now got 2 stone generators on either side. One here, one there. These are both waterlogged pistons flowing out, lava flowing on top of them, creating stone. The stone gets pushed across, and you can imagine there's stuff pushing in from both sides. It's meeting in the middle. We've got some obsidian on either end to make sure that we don't push anything further than we mean to. But basically, the reason I added another one on the other side was just so that I could have everything flow into the middle and consolidate in the center. So that's kind of the goal. And so the way this works is we have a moss block here. When we turn the farm on, we put some bone meal in here. It's going to bone meal this moss block, spreading the moss out along this stone, turning the stone into moss. And then the stone generators on either side will crush the moss, popping those out into items, pushing more stone across, and we can repeat that process. We also have, there will be carpets, moss carpets, and like azalea bushes and stuff that grow on top of the moss. And for those, we have dispensers in each corner with water buckets. So we also have water that gets dispensed from each corner, pushing everything into the middle, and also washing all the carpets off, washing all the plants off, all that good stuff. So that makes sure that we're getting everything we need. We then have underneath a hopper minecart going around, just a simple 3x3 area, thanks to having the cobblestone generators, or the stone generators on each side, allows us to pretty reliably have everything pushed towards the center. We can pick all that up, and then that all just gets picked up into hoppers. Normally, that all just goes into here. You can see I was testing it for a while. But if we turn this on, then rather than being pushed along into this chest and going down here, all the different drops, like the moss carpets, the azalea bushes, all that stuff, is going to drop down because hoppers always pull. The hopper below is always going to pull before the hopper above can push. So the hopper below pulls and then drops it into a composter. And I have like 8 composters all around the outside here. These are going to be filling up with organic material and then turning them into bone meal. The bone meal then all files into a crafter, and we just have this crafter set up so that when it's full, when it has 9 bone meal, it triggers and then pops a bone block into here. So that's a lot of talk. Let's see it in action. So the first thing that we do is, I guess I kind of architected this so that it all happens at the same time now. But if I wanted to just turn on one part of it at a time, I can basically do this to turn on the stone generators. And you can see we have our little clock pushing these pistons back and forth over here, triggering these lines which power these pistons. They can't move right now, right? There's nowhere for them to push the stone. But if I start breaking stone out of here, you can see we've now got stone pushing in. And it does this kind of interesting push and pull thing. That's kind of the consequence of having two of these going simultaneously. But as far as I could tell in my testing, it actually works pretty well. So I think it's fine. Maybe it would be slightly better if they were actually fully synced up, and maybe that's worth testing. Because right now, yeah, they're going at opposite times. But in theory, if I do this, will they now go at the same time? Not quite. What if I do this? I'm going the wrong direction. What if I do this? No. I was hoping that just a single repeater would be enough to get this working, get these synced up. Well, maybe I need 2. That's fine. I've got room for them. Okay. I think. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. I'm going to have to remember that. And then if I want to, I guess now that I'm doing this, I could also just make this slightly more compact like that. Cool. Yeah, that works. Nice. Okay. So, and you can see maybe we won't have that pushing back and forth thing. Yeah, this is a little bit cleaner, I think. Sweet. Yeah, it looks great. So that's that part. But then we turn on this clock, which is a little bit more elaborate. And basically all this does is bone meal this moss and then push this piston, because you need to have air above the moss in order for it to be able to be bone mealed and grow stuff. So we're basically alternating again here. Bone meal, push. Bone meal, push. Now, one of the challenges that I had in last week in that stream was I had no idea how we were going to get bone meal into here. And what I came up with is inspired by something I saw that Silent Whisperer did in his moss farm, which is really clever, honestly, which is having 2 droppers here. So basically we have a hopper pointing into this dropper. This dropper is pointing down into this one. This dropper is pointing left into this one. And what you do is you just alternate with a piston pushing an observer. You can alternate powering these 2 droppers, which happens to just, move items along from here to here to here. But also, because powering a dropper also powers adjacent components, you can power this dropper and it will trigger this piston to go. And you can power this dropper and it will trigger this dispenser to go. So from there, we can just put bone meal right in here and it flows down while the farm is running. Obviously, if I put stuff in here, it won't just flow down automatically. It only works when the farm's running because there's droppers now, but really cool idea. So props to Silent Whisper for that. On top of this, I wanted to be able to just put bone blocks in here rather than bone meal itself. So what I did was I put just a very simple little crafter thing, right? For this crafter, we take 1 bone block in here, and when we power the crafter, it will then create 9 bone meal. So basically what I do is I just have a hopper here. As soon as this hopper becomes empty, it powers this crafter to refill it, basically. So that's kind of how it works. So I can just dump bone blocks in here. Let me turn let me put this back in so we have the stone generators off for the time being, just so I can show this. And so I'll just grab a bone block. or a stack of bone blocks. And if I put these in here, this is a trap chest, which is why they're not going away right away. I like to use trap chests as inputs to my contraptions because it makes it very easy to see exactly what I'm putting in. But as soon as I close this inventory, the trap chest will stop powering the hopper below it, and so the hopper will start pulling stuff out. So here it goes. You can see in the crafter, it's filling up with bone blocks. The hopper is pulling stuff out. If I look back up here again, right, the number's gone down. So hopper's filling up with stuff. We have to get it started just by pushing the button. But once I do this, that powers the crafter once. You can see it ran out, there's bone meal flowing into here. After 9 of them go in, it powers the crafter again to get another 9. We're getting perfect multiples of 9 here. Beautiful. Math. So now we don't have any bone meal here, but it is here. As soon as I turn the farm on, it'll start moving to here and start doing the thing. So let's test it out. Take a look at it. I'm going to turn this off temporarily. And I kind of want to just get all this stuff out of here. So I'm just going to dump it on the floor. Don't mind me. Cool. So now if I turn the farm on, we should see it happen. So there's the water that pushes everything to the middle. It's going to take a couple cycles to get going just because of the droppers, but there it goes. So you can see it bone meals and the water comes out at right around the same time. Then it pushes the thing off the top in case like some grass or a, azalea bush or something grew up there. It pushes it off. There's a carpet. It pushed the carpet. Perfect. And so now my water is pushing everything into the middle, into that 3x3 square. And once all these items are there in that 3x3 square, this little hopper minecart that's going around in a circle is picking them up. Because hopper minecarts can pick up item entities that are sitting on top of the full block that's above the item hopper, or the hopper minecart. So that's the general principle, and it's working pretty well. The timing is pretty good. And then you can see there's like this little visual thing, which I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of interesting. Every once in a while you see moss like fly in from the sides of the screen. I think it's just a visual thing. As far as I can tell, it's collecting all of it. But so that's all coming in here, going down here, and you can see we're getting tons of stuff, right? I'm going to have more moss than I can possibly know what to do with. But if I turn off this, then it'll start going into the composters, and then you can start to see how it works, right? I'm getting bone meal. It takes a while. It takes you have to put in a bunch of stuff to a composter until you get a bone meal. But once you get it, you get it. And so we get bone meal coming in. Once it hits 9 of them, we read a comparator output out of here. I'm using this little comparator trick with a crafter with all of its items selected to basically say, the only thing we care about is a signal strength of 9, because that's what this is emitting. So this is it's like a transistor, basically. If you are familiar with transistors. And so whenever we get a signal strength of 9, it powers this block, powers this redstone, the redstone powers this block, the repeater reads that, takes that, powers this, powers the crafter, and we get our bone block in here. And you can see we're getting bone blocks. And we're still getting some moss here, which is kind of interesting. I'm a little surprised by that, but I think it's probably just because when I had it running in the other mode, a lot of it was accumulating in this hopper, which could be a problem. This farm probably produces stuff faster than a single hopper line can really handle. But realistically, I'm not going to have it in moss mode all that often. I'll usually have it in bone meal mode and mostly just get bone blocks. Cool. And we're even getting some other little things too. Nice. Yeah, so this is it. So we're going to build this in the survival world now. That's the plan. So let's do it. And it's going to be a little bit tricky, but basically I think what I want to do is looking at it the way that we have been looking at it in the world. I want to build it this way. And I think the only thing I'll change is I'll have the output coming out the left side. And that way, instead, it'll start flowing into the to the storage. Cool. And I guess I need 2 blocks worth of like clearance in order to fit in this little crafter compactor thing. So that's something for me to be aware of as well. Now the question is, I took some screenshots of this. If I click this, is it going to crash the game? No. Yes. Oh, that amazing. It always makes me happy when things don't break. Cool. All right. I think I more or less have a frame of reference here. So let's just get going. I'm going to, again, we're going to pop back into the the studio here as I head back into the realm. Waiting for it to load. And all right, here we go. Cool. Oh man, everything's loading in. It's crazy. Hello, skeleton friends. Let's just take a moment to admire the castle in the distance. Oh yeah, wow, look at that. Okay, back to work. So I need that 2 blocks of clearance, but I think I already have it. Yeah, I think this will be fine. So I think what I'm going to do basically is I'm just going to have the chest. Is that enough clearance? Do I need one more hopper just to be safe? I'm not sure. Because the crafter thing will go out this way. Oh, right. The other thing I wanted to do was see if I could get a chunk border up. So let's try it. In theory, I can, with an armor stand and a stick and some wool, I can make a banner. And if my resource pack is working correctly, which is an open question, which is, we'll see. I should be able to put this banner in the invisible armor stand's hand and then get some useful things. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So there's a chunk border. That's great. That makes me happy to see. So the middle of this chunk is here between these 2 blocks, which is slightly sad, but what can you do? And then the middle of the chunk this way is going to be between these 2 blocks. So actually right in front of this hopper. And I think that's fine. I'll just have everything flowing into the middle there. And I think that'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let me double check my screenshots. Make sure I'm not making any stupid decisions. Chunks are big. I got plenty of room. It'll be fine. Okay. I don't think I want to have this here the whole time, so I'm going to take that away for now. All right, let's do it. I didn't grab any materials. That might be a problem. I'm going to need some stuff for sure. So let's just put away some things that I'm not going to need right away and grab the stuff that I'm actually going to need right now. Definitely some glass at some point, so I probably shouldn't get rid of that. Oh, right, this is my filter item. I will, for now, throw that in a bundle in here. Cool. All right, let's grab... I'm going to need more cobblestone, for sure. That's going to be a problem. But that's a solvable problem. And then I'm going to need a bunch of glass and some redstone stuff. Let's just grab everything that I think I'm going to need. I guess I will need some normal pistons. At least 1 crafter. Let's grab 1 of those. I need 1 dispenser, a couple of droppers, Hoppers for sure. Observers for sure. Always need observers. Levers. I will need some rails. I'm going to need some powered rails. And I'm quickly approaching running a little low in inventory space, obviously. So let me pop some stuff in here that I'm probably not going to need. Hopefully I don't need these arrows. If I get attacked and I don't have my arrows on me, well, I did it to myself. All right, let's start here. See how we do. Oh, I can get rid of my... I guess we'll take one more look at my adorable face here, and then I'll just put my helmet back on rather than put it away. I don't think I need these carpets, so let me ditch those. Okay, I'm also going to need a bunch of water and a bunch of lava, or at least like 2 buckets of lava, which I can put that in last probably. So, okay, let's try and build this thing. I think I can build it. I think I can do that. I think I do. Do I want to go up one more level just to be safe? Yeah, I think I do. All right, I'm going up one more hopper, and then we'll do a chest. Oh, I didn't get chests. Oh, right, I'm running a little low on chests because I made a million hoppers. So let me craft some more. Man, chests are so expensive. I just got no chests from that. A whole stack of bamboo. All right, all right. I'll craft every single bamboo I own. I guess the thing with bamboo is you only get 2 planks for 1 bamboo block, which, you know, probably good. It keeps it from being outrageously overpowered. It's already pretty overpowered. All right, let's do it. We're making a... We're going to put a chest on here. I immediately fell. We're going to put a chest right here. And I want there to be, so the center is this block here. So I'm going to have like a 3x3 in the center. We'll have 1 block, which is the crafter, and then the crafter will be feeding into a double chest. So that works out perfectly. Awesome. So let's do the little crafter thing. Basically, we need to have a crafter pointing into this chest. This thing will fill up with bone meal, and then we'll be able to read a signal out of that. So let's do it. We're going to have a block under here to power the crafter. We're going to have a block here to have a repeater heading into that crafter. Put another block there. And then just some dust here. And am I doing this right? No. No, I'm not. We need the dust to be here. Block there. All right, here we go. Then we'll have a comparator. Cool. So again, comparators can read stuff out of, like it can read through a block, which is kind of a weird thing, but it's true. So like this comparator can read the fullness of this container, even though there's a block in between them. It's just a nice thing to know. So that'll read that out. And what we want is for when this hits a signal strength of 9, we want it to power. And so to do that, we're going to do the little thing that I did before. I'm going to have to sleep. Otherwise, it's going to get too dark to see. But so we'll have another comparator fitting it, pointing into this. And what this does is when a comparator has another signal coming in from the side, it basically means that it will only output a signal if the signal that it's reading itself is at least as strong as the signal coming in through the side. So I needed another crafter for this. That's why I need a second crafter. I guess I'll sleep while I'm down here. I should just pop a bed down. And I have a bed in my ender chest. Hey, thanks for joining. All right, so we're doing a little crafter thing to get these bone blocks compacted. Let us finish that up. And all we need to do now is just throw a crafter right there. That looks It doesn't matter which way it's facing at all, but that looked silly, so I'm going to have it point that way. And then if we set this to 9 by clicking all these slots, that means basically a comparator reading from a crafter will read out the signal strength that is proportional to how many slots are full here, or not full, but like have anything in them, or are actively clicked and disabled. So basically this is a signal strength of 9. We have a comparator here. And so because this 9 is coming in the side, this will only power this block if it gets a signal strength of 9. And we can test that by doing the same thing here. So if I put in, for instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, still no signal, right? But if I put in the 9th one, we get a signal. And so that actually powers the crafter. You can see the little red lights are on, but this is not a real crafting recipe, so it didn't do anything. But once we have bone meal flowing in here, then it'll start compacting that all into bone blocks. So moving forward, we have, let's see, we're going to have a hopper coming here. And now we want to do like, we want to have, here's the center of the thing. So we're going to have a 3x3 of hoppers all going into this one crafter. This one doesn't really matter which way it points. I'll just have it point this way. Why not? Doesn't really matter. And then these are all going to have composters on top of them. And obviously I didn't get any composters, so let's do that. And how do you make a composter again? Composter. Let's see. Oh, it's a bunch of slabs. All right. So let's grab some bamboo, my most renewable form of wood. Let's create a bunch of planks. Let's create a bunch of slabs, and let's create exactly 8 composters. Perfect. I definitely planned that. All right, so we can take these composters and pop them on top of each of those hoppers. And now any organic material that we put in here is going to get composted into bone meal. All the bone meal that flows out of here is going to go into this one crafter, fill up this whole thing, 3x3, 9 bone meal. And as soon as it does, it'll get compacted into a bone block. And we can test that. And so let's do it. I'm going to grab a bunch of, sure, bamboo. Why not? I have basically infinite bamboo. So if I put some bamboo in one of these composters. Okay, bamboo is actually a pretty bad thing to compost, maybe. Wait, can you not compost bamboo? Am I insane? Can you not compost bamboo? I'm shocked by this. I guess you can't. Maybe it would just be too powerful. That's bizarre. Okay, well, let's try something else. Moss. How about moss? We're gonna have plenty of it soon enough. And I can grab some more out of here. Oh no, I guess I got it all. The fact that you can't put bamboo in a composter is blowing my mind. Okay, yeah, so, all right, that's odd. But so anyway, yeah, you can see when you put organic stuff in a composter, not bamboo, I guess. You also can't burn bamboo, so I guess it makes sense. You put this in here, it slowly fills up the composter. Eventually, the composter gets fully full. I think one more layer will do it. Yep, and as soon as we do that, it gets full, turns to bone meal, and the hopper underneath it pulls it right out and puts it, and then that hopper line pushes these into the crafter. So if I'm not going to have enough to really demonstrate this, but I could get another one in there, and you'll see, right, it's starting to fill up. And so as soon as we have 9 of these, then it will compact these into a bone block. I'll keep this one moss. I really don't want to lose my one vital moss that I guess I have another one in case I need it, but I am going to need to have at least one moss in order to be able to make this moss farm. Okay, so let's do it. So the next thing that we're going to do is the like on-off switch for the composters themselves. And so the way that we do that is we're just going to have, again, 8 hoppers. Oh, not there. That's actually like the only place that we don't want to have one. But we're going to have 8 composters all pointed in to these hoppers. Again, I put one here. No! All right, we're going in with all these hoppers, all into composters. Amazing. Cool. And so now I want to be able to have a lever to turn these hoppers on and off, because I don't always want everything to be going into the composters to make bone meal. Sometimes I actually want to get the moss or the moss carpets or the pale moss or the pale moss carpets. What are you getting moss for? So mainly I'm going to be using it to get bone meal and get bone blocks, so that I can just have an infinite supply of bone blocks. I also don't have a great reliable way to get a bunch of moss right now, or a bunch of pale moss, which is really the reason that kind of the thing that prompted me to do this, because they added pale moss with the pale gardens, and it grows pretty much exactly the same way as normal moss, but I don't have a reliable way to get it really in large quantities right now, and I just want a bunch of it, at least a few stacks, to be able to have some in my like shulker boxes in case I ever need any pale moss. So that's kind of the general idea, but the kind of longer term goal is to have a source of bone meal in this industrial area where I also already have cactus, which is a lot slower, so like it wouldn't be a reliable source of bone meal, and gold and iron. So that way I can come here, I can AFK in the industrial district if I need to, and get a bunch of iron, get a bunch of gold, get a bunch of bone meal. Generally useful things, bone blocks, technically, but that's just the more compacted form of bone meal. So let's keep on rolling. We are going to build the system around this that allows me to turn these hoppers on and off. And the way that I am going to do that is by mostly just having like some cobblestone going around. I'm using cobblestone as my like building block, which is not the most beautiful thing, but it's what I did for all the other stuff in this area, so I want to keep it the same. And then the only little weird trick thing that we have to do here, because we can also add in some hoppers here. So we're going to have some additional hoppers and another chest. And this is where all of the, like, if the composters are turned off, the normal moss and pale moss and carpets and things will all flow into here. So I have to just do a little bit of a funky thing here to get the signal going properly. But I guess I can just, oh, I broke my glass. That was stupid. We can put a repeater here. We can put some glass here. I'll do that as glass so that I can still open this chest if I want to look in there. And then I think I can just do like this and like this. It doesn't technically need to go all the way around, but I fell all the way down. Okay. And this way, if I have a redstone line that goes all along here, we can have a lever that I should probably put this lever in like not a horrible place that's like somewhat easy to access. Like really, I should probably have some way to switch it on and off from below. But I think we're working on the MVP here, right? The minimum viable product. So we don't need to go totally crazy. Let's just throw a lever on the front of the thing, power it, and nice. All these hoppers are powered, which is exactly what we want. And I fell off again. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. And I'm supposed to be good at this game. BRB 1 second. And we're back. All right, so I guess I'll sleep so I can see what I'm doing. Monsters? Name one. Where? I don't see any monsters. There must be like a cave or something. What the heck? All right, I'm moving my bed. I can hear a zombie, actually. I don't know where it is. There must be a cave under this. Which, if it's not lit up, is maybe stupid. All right, well, I'll figure that out later. Okay, so continue. Again, falling. All right. What I should probably do is like have all my stuff on a little platform up here so I don't have to keep going back up and down. But anyway, so the next move is to have the hoppers that go in here. And so again, we're doing the same kind of thing. It's basically just having a bunch of hoppers going around. Again, where this one points, whether it's this way or this way, doesn't really matter. I'll do this one. And then, so now anything that goes into these hoppers will not go into the composters, will instead go into this chest and go down and get filtered into the system. So if I throw a bunch of torches in there, we should see that happen. They'll all come across. They will not go into any of the item filters, and so they'll end up in this like trash. And it's working perfectly. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, can I fly up there? Can I get up there faster? Let's see. Ooh-wee. Cool. So on top of this now, we're going to do another line of hoppers. I don't know how necessary these ones are, but I did them in my prototype, so I'm doing them here. And then on top of this, we will actually have our rails going around. So let's see, we'll do rail, 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 powered rails on the sides, and normal rails, which can curve on the edges, as I'm sure you know. We will throw then some blocks of redstone next to each of these powered rails. And from here, we need to put a hopper minecart going around. So let's grab one. We need to make one out of iron and a hopper. Should be simple enough. Make some iron. I can hear that zombie. I want to know where it is. Oh, I made a hopper instead of a minecart. Okay, hopper minecart. There it is. Is there like a, is it like right under me? I can hear you. I'm gonna find like a million of them. All right, where's the sound? This way? Oh, this way? I can hear them. This is such a waste of time. I feel like they're over here. I must be right on top of them. All right, I give up. This is this is a fool's errand. How am I going to get out of here? I'll fill this back in later. Let me out. The light of day. Woo. All right, let's put this hopper minecart down. Give it a little nudge. Nice. And now we've got a hopper minecart going around and around and around and around, which is exactly what we want. So now I want to put in just a ton of cobblestone, and I don't really have enough right here. So let me see if I have any more in the castle. Ow. Ow. Castle tour coming soon. Let's grab it. Nice. Okay, I have a bunch. I'm really happy to see that because I'm weirdly, more than anything these days, I'm like hurting for cobblestone, which is so silly. I don't know why. And it's like that for some reason I decided that I'm building a bunch of redstone stuff out of cobblestone for no good reason. But I can't stop now. Okay. So I think what we need to do now is just create like the platform that the spawner, not spawner, that the cobblestone, no. Okay. We're creating the platform that the stone generator is going to be creating stone on top of. So this thing is going to be, let's see, how big? Just looking at my reference image here. Okay, we're going to have it basically going out by a few blocks. Never mind this. Okay. We'll figure it out. So we're making a big cobblestone platform. This is just to make sure that any like moss that gets created and pushed goes up instead of down. We don't want anything falling through. We want it all to go up and then have the water streams push it into the center so that this thing can collect it. Which I guess also we could put a stone there. Nice. We'll do that. And we're just going to go out in a circle. Cool, cool, cool. Let's do another level out. Another one. Okay, we're getting closer. So basically the surface that we're going to have is a 7 by 7. So I think this gets us to the edges of that. And then from there, we're just going to have like some walls and stuff. Okay. I didn't take I didn't take screenshots of every angle of the design, so I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here, but I think this will be fine. So I want to make sure that I get the spacing right, but I think we have 7 by 7 and then one space, and which is where the stone will kind of get pushed out, and then we'll have the thing with the lava, and then we'll have the pistons. So let's do another line out here. And then one more, and I think we can put our pistons down here. And I guess we only need 7. Right? So that'll create stone here. Push it this way. We can do the same on this side. And we'll start by just getting that working. And that'll make it easier to walk around up here too. Cool, so we got pistons in. We also need to put some obsidian, which I don't have any in my inventory. We need to put some obsidian on the ends of that so that we don't... we want to make sure that the pistons don't push anything further than they are supposed to. So we're going to put in some obsidian here. Just like that. Oh, I placed an obsidian. The most annoying thing to accidentally place. Though I suppose not as bad as placing bedrock somehow. Cool. So let's now, we need to just enclose this like that. Or I guess we don't really need to do that. We want to enclose it this way because this is where we're going to pour lava. So we want to have this area fully enclosed. And then we're going to have water. I'll put a line of stone here, which is... I fell off again. Well, while we're here, let's go get some lava. Ow. All right, let's grab some lava. I have a shulker box somewhere with lava in it. Nice. Do I need anything else while I'm here? Stop, think. Water bucket? Let's grab some buckets. Grab 2 buckets. And let's get rid of some junk. So throw some iron in here, whatever. All right, I'm going to fill up these buckets because I know that I'm going to need infinite water. So there we go. We got 2 buckets of water, which should be enough to create an infinite water source, and then I can just go from there. Cool. Here we are, headed back to the moss farm in progress. Oh my gosh. I built it sideways. Why did nobody tell me? I meant to build it I meant to build it this way. I can't believe it. Well, okay, I mean, all right, now's the time. I'm glad I noticed that then. Of course, now I'm gonna have to mine out a ton of obsidian. I can't believe I did that. I totally got turned around and built it the wrong way. All right. We're mining obsidian. After I said I didn't want to mine obsidian. I didn't mess it up. It's fine. All right. So what I meant to do was none of this. Well, the exciting climactic moment is going to be now slightly delayed, but that's okay. Let's put this in. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this stuff. I can't believe I did that. I totally was just turned around. This is why you double and triple check whenever you're building anything in Minecraft. I can't be so cavalier about this. I could have just built my whole my whole moss farm sideways. Not that it really would have mattered ultimately. Like the orientation doesn't matter. I want it to look nice. Hello. Were you the guys I was hearing? I don't think so. All right, we'll pick up my trash. We'll go for a sleep. All right, we're getting closer. We're getting closer by the second here. Let me make a little infinite water source thing. And let's head back up. Ah! That was genuinely a jump scare. Let's get this guy out of here. Jeez. I need to make sure to light this thing up. I guess my other farms have random torches and stuff just around. Well, I'll just try to keep sleeping. All right, we're building this the right way now? Yes. Do you prefer Bedrock over Java? I think that they are both great games. I think that Bedrock Edition is the one that I started playing, mainly because I wanted to play with my friend who was playing on Switch at the time, and Bedrock was the cross-platform option. And so I'm kind of locked in in a certain sense, because I've been building this world for the past like several years. But I think Bedrock Edition is great. I think there are some things that Bedrock does better, and some things that Java does that I wish that Bedrock did too. But ultimately, they're both great games. You can get the best things, you can get the best parts of Minecraft out of either game, I think. I don't think there's one that's objectively better than others. I think that the long history of Java Edition means that there's been a lot more science that people have done on it, which have allowed them to discover a lot of really cool things that you can do. So, that's something that the Bedrock community doesn't really have as much, but it's growing, I would say. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. We're putting pistons in. We're trying this again. We're going the right way this time. We're doing pistons. I'll just do one at a time. We're going to go like this because we're going to waterlog these pistons, so we don't want water flowing out of them. In fact, actually, there's a smarter way to do this, which involves taking these pistons out one more time. This is why we're, you know, the challenges of building things in survival versus creative. Do you think combining them would be a good idea, or should they be separate as they are now? It's a really hard question. It's a good question, but it's a tough question because I think there are like bugs or like quirks in Java Edition, particularly when you start to get into the nitty-gritty technical stuff. There are quirks in Java Edition that Bedrock does not have, and I kind of think that Bedrock is more sensible for not having some of those things. But the people who play Java Edition, the worlds that have been built in Java Edition, all of the science that has been done to you know, figure out what's possible in Java Edition all relies on those things. So it's kind of like, I see them kind of as parallel universes. You know, I think that Java Edition will probably continue to exist. I think more and more people will probably play Bedrock Edition. And I think that Bedrock Edition will continue to get more stable and better as, you know, the development team continues to work on Bedrock Edition a lot. But I don't think Java Edition will ever fully go away, just because there's such a big community around the way that Java Edition works and the things that it does that will never be in Bedrock Edition. And I think there's kind of an irreconcilable challenge there that I don't really ever see going away. Maybe not the most satisfying answer, but I think realistically they'll probably continue to exist for a while. I think it's possible, maybe, that at some point in the future, I don't think anytime soon, but I think at some point in the future it's possible that Java Edition will stop getting updates. And Bedrock Edition might keep getting updates. I'm not basing that on any, you know, insider information that I have or anything along those lines. I just could see that happening because I don't think that having two identical games with parallel development processes is like an infinitely sustainable thing, but we'll see. So if I put in the water here ahead of time, then I can just put in the pistons and they will be waterlogged because I placed them in water. I think, hopefully, we should be able to test it. If I break this, water should flow out. Aha! Awesome. Cool. So that is exactly what we wanted to see. So now we can, let's see, we want lava to flow on top of here because that's what's the lava is going to flow on top of the water and that will turn it into stone. So let's do that. We're going to do this and this and that. And I guess we need some stuff there like this. And now, if I have a way to get up here, if I put some lava right here, it should turn that to stone. Did it? Yes. Okay, cool. And I need to take it out and put it back in so that it flows both ways because it went towards the hole, which is kind of a silly fluid thing in Minecraft. But what can you do? Okay, I'm glad that didn't fall in the lava. That was slightly risky. So let's do that. I don't know. Do I want this to be glass because it's around the lava because it would look cool? Nah, it's fine. Oh, I'm burning. I should have seen that coming. Okay, so now if I put a bunch of redstone along this line and then grab a lever, if I power this it should start pushing out stone. Let it retract. Let it all turn into stone. Push it out again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's working. That is very satisfying. Sweet. Okay, let's build one on the other side. I think we go like this. We'll put some stone around these things. And then put our pistons in. Oh, no. Wait, no, not that. We put the water in first, then the pistons. That way they're waterlogged. All right, let's do some water. Looking good. All right, let's get those pistons in. I hope I built this at the right spot, but I feel pretty confident that I did, hopefully. And I think we just want this to be coming all the way across here. Cool, cool. Now let's get in the little zone where we're going to put the lava. Nice. Wait, is that right? Did I do it wrong? No, I did it right. Okay, I just need to clear this out and let the... Right. It's all fine. Okay, so if I do that, now I can get rid of these. We've got water flowing. Wonderful. If I throw in another bucket of lava here, it flows across. Woohoo! And it's turned it all to stone. Very satisfying. Let's make sure our lava bucket doesn't fall in the lava, please. Nice. Okay. Cool. And then we'll do redstone here as well. And we can give this one a test. Always good to test. Let's put a lever here and give it a test. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good, and we're about to have a fully covered surface here. Sweet. Cool. All right, we're getting... Oh, no, I'm about to fall in the lava. Oh, gosh, I almost just jumped right into the lava. Oh, you know what I realized? This is not supposed to be cobblestone. This is supposed to be obsidian, and that's actually important. Because otherwise, it could push stuff around and make a mess. And I just washed all my torches away. Oh, no. All right, but let's get this obsidian in. Let's get these torches back down here. I don't think I need this crazy bit of scaffolding anymore, hopefully. And let's get some torches back down. One of the things that I want to do at some point soon is clean up the torch spam in this area. It's just been horrible torch spam for years. And it would be nice to not be, you know, it'd be nice to have it be a little bit more pleasing to look at. But anyway, let's head back up. I guess I'll sleep, actually. Nice little sleep. Nice little rest. All right, we're getting pretty close. We've got a lot of the most important... Where am I? Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Again, I got disoriented. All right, so what we need is some walls. We can just do this. And if I did this all correctly, which really I hope I did, we've got a 7x7. Yeah, so the central moss will go right there. Let's grab one and put it in. I'll do a pale moss because that's more fun. Oh, okay. Nothing, no fire damage. And now we're going to have a dispenser going into this. We're going to have a dropper going into this and another dropper going into that one. Like so. Yeah, cool. Then we have a regular piston here to push anything that grows on top of the moss block out of the way. We have a sticky piston here with an observer going into this. And then let's see, we'll build our little crafter thing here. So we have, I guess I need another crafter. Let me grab one. One more crafter. Do I need anything else from here? I don't think so. I think I'm done with normal pistons too. I guess I need more dispensers for the water buckets in the corners, which I need to remember to do. That's an important part of this. So yeah, so I need to have these 4 corners will each be a dispenser with a water bucket. And I'll put those in at the end. But basically, this is the water that pushes all the items towards the center so that the hopper minecart that's underneath can collect them. But let's build this little crafter thing. So basically, we want to have, whenever this hopper is empty, it powers a block here, here. And that has a torch on it. The torch is next to the, not that, a torch, torch. Let's make a little button. Just throw a button on here. We got a button there. We got crafter pointing towards this. And then we have another chest, another hopper going into the crafter. And then our input chest at the very top. This is where we'll put our bone blocks and they'll go in. And we should be able to test some of this. So if I have some bone blocks somewhere, like here, for instance, let's grab some bone blocks, go back up. If I put bone blocks in here, they start to filter down into the crafter, which is not configured correctly. We need just one slot available. So bone blocks go in here. Now they're going in the crafter. I can push this button. That should start the process of auto crafting them. We'll get 9 in here. Then it'll trigger again. We'll get the next 9 and so on. Awesome. It's working. Cool, cool, cool. Very cool. From here, we need to build the kind of the final circuit, which is the clocks that control all of this stuff. So let's do that. So I think I need some scaffolding out here so that I can get my bearings. So what we're doing is adding onto the back of the system here the main clocks that will control this whole thing. Basically, we have 2 clocks. We have a faster clock that's pushing the 2 stone generators to get that stone going in, meeting in the middle. And then we have a slower one that is controlling the actual bone mealing and stuff up there. So let's see if I can do this correctly from this reference image that I have. And I think I should be able to, hopefully. I might need more scaffolding, or I'll start using stone as scaffolding or something. But basically, we want to have our first clock, which is the faster one. And for that, we've got a kind of standard clock design here. right? Let's get the redstone in and you'll see how this works. We have dust here, repeater there, and then a torch on the other side. Right there. Right? And that's a clock. You got so much energy, you keep talking like this. Most people would stop talking if no one's talking to Chad. You know, I appreciate it. Thank you. That's the goal, right? You know, I want, if anybody does decide to drop in, I want them to feel like I'm talking to them. Yeah, so we got this little clock here going, and then from here I can extend out a line this way. And this was the little thing that we did in creative earlier, where I need to have a couple extra repeaters just to get the timing right. It doesn't really matter. It's not strictly a necessary part of the thing, but it makes the cobblestone, or makes the stone generators like push at the exact same rate, which is a nice thing. So then we have another one here. Where? There? Yes, here. And we go like that. And then we're going to have a couple sticky pistons. So we need to have a sticky piston here. Ah, no! I should have seen that coming. I really should have seen that coming. All right, let's get rid of those blocks that we don't need. Also, I'm going to turn this off temporarily. Cool. Turn that off temporarily. Let's get an observer going here. The observer will go into this block, which we have then a line that should push those pistons. So let's try that. We'll do it on the other side too. We need a sticky piston and an observer. Let's get rid of the blocks beneath. Throw some redstone up here. Wonderful. And now, in theory, this is the... Oh! This is the cobblestone generator part, or the stone generator part done. I keep saying cobblestone generator. Okay, I think this timing is off. There we go. I want more scaffolding. I think I have more. I have like a pocket. Yes, I have a pocket with more scaffolding. Excellent. Let me grab more of that. Eat and fly at the same time. Always good to multitask. Okay, let's go out in this. Right, so you can see this clock is powering those pistons at the same exact time, which should be perfect because now we have two stone generators here working. And if I start breaking blocks, we should see the stone generators filling them in. Amazing. Yeah, this is working perfectly. Now all I need to do, I think, is add in the main clock for the actual bone mealing, and then this farm should be working, which means we can test it out, and that will be really exciting. So let's do that. The last step here is to add in that stuff. So basically, we just need to have... How does this work? Let me look at my screenshots that I took of my thing. Cool, okay, yeah. So we basically just need an etho hopper clock. And then the etho hopper clock goes into that sticky piston. Sweet, yeah, let's try it. Okay, so we have... I guess we want another layer up of stone around the outside here, or cobblestone. And I'll have to get the buckets in. I need to remember to do that. So we do that, and then if we have dust here, we can put our hopper clock right here. So basically, we just need to get a couple hoppers pointing into each other, like so. Let me go sleep so that I don't get too sleepy. Wonderful. Good morning. And now I'm trapped. Okay, so here we're going to make a little etho hopper etho hopper clock kind of thing with comparators coming out the sides of the hoppers. Basically, this is just a variable rate clock pioneered by the legend himself, Etho, of course. And basically, you can put any number of different items in here. They'll move back and forth, and each time they move... Oh, I do need normal pistons for this. Oh, I need normal pistons. I need 2 normal pistons, and I think I'm done with the stickies as well. Am I done with the sticky pistons? No. I need 1 more sticky piston for the water circuit. Yes. Actually, possibly 2. I'll just grab a few of them. All right, we're getting closer, getting closer. So let's see. We now can throw in some... Throw dust here, pistons here. And these will be pushing back and forth a redstone block. And I think we need for this, we need 5 items. And so you can see this clock goes back and forth. And it's working. It's working. We're probably already getting some stuff. The only thing that's not happening right now, obviously, is we don't have water coming out of these dispensers. And so we're losing items and we're not breaking all the carpets and stuff. So let's put a lever on this to stop it just momentarily. And I think we can just put a lever right here. That should do it. Put some torches up here just in case it doesn't spawn a creeper and explode in my face. And then, yeah, last but certainly not least, we just need to set up the little, like, water circuit, which I forgot how I did it. I did it slightly weird, I guess, but it works. So basically, we just need, whenever this clock is powering this, we need to also pulse out. We need to, like, pulse these dispensers with the water buckets in them twice, because we need them to dispense all the water, let it flow a little bit, and then pull the water back in by pulsing the dispenser again. So that's what we're going to do. And it should be fairly simple. I think we can just do like a piston here, a sticky piston here, and an observer like this. And then as long as we have something on top of this observer that's going to be powered in both configurations, right? Like we want it to, when this observer moves, it'll power this, and then when it moves back, it'll power this. So we want it to happen twice, and that's the general goal here. And I think we need some glass to make a little staircase kind of thing, but basically, we just need to have redstone dust that's powering that dispenser, and from there, we can have a line that goes across here and powers that one as well. And so if we do something pretty much the same on the other side, we should start to see. I guess I can turn this on and test that side. Oh, I don't have my water buckets in. That's important. I need those. Okay, let me make a couple more buckets, because I think I have 2 buckets of water, but I need 2 more. Do I have any iron? Yeah, I do have iron in my inventory. Nice, nice, nice. Let's make 2 more buckets. Get some water. All right, let's put those into the dispensers. 1 bucket there, 1 bucket here. And I immediately messed up the timing because I didn't realize the thing was still running because I forgot to turn it off. Okay, that's fine. I thought I turned it off. Didn't I turn it off? Does this not turn it off? Okay, it's off. It's supposed to be off. Something's happening. Something weird is happening that I'm not expecting. What's powering that? Right? It's clearly still going a lot. I mean, it must be related to this. Oh, I see. Wait, no, I don't. I mean, if I turn off the stone thing, does it stop? It does. What the heck? That's so strange. Now what's powering that? So something must be powering this dispenser, but in theory, it's not this. But I wonder if it still does it if I remove that. Oh, wow. Yeah, it doesn't. Interesting. So this is a thing where, wow, yeah, that's actually really interesting. This is like a quirk, I guess, of Bedrock Edition, presumably, where you can see it's clearly visibly redirecting. This piston is redirecting this redstone. So it shouldn't be going into this block. But as soon as I put that in, yeah, it's definitely powering it. That's crazy. Wow, that's a weird thing. Well, that's easy enough to fix. We'll just replace that with glass, and then it shouldn't be an issue. And I probably need to do that on the other side too. Wow. Yeah, wow, we found an interesting thing. That's always fun. Okay, how do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? All right, we're very close to done here. All we need to do now is add in the last thing, which is another sticky piston. I guess let's test this real quick. Cool, yeah, that's working perfectly now. Nice. All right, and then it retracts the water. Now we just need to do the same on the other side, and we can do that with something very similar. When this redstone block moves there, you know, it's powering that one, and it'll power this one as well. And so we'll just have another observer right here, like so. We'll have a couple more pieces of cobblestone with dust on them. And then all we need to do is just make a little line going down to here. How did I do that? I did something very similar. Okay, yeah, I did. We got that like that. And then we have a piece of glass. We have this powering that. A piece of glass here. And then this goes all the way across like that. And I'm out of dust. Let's make some more dust. We go across like this. Okay. I think this should do it. Let me add some torches just to make sure we have light in here and this thing doesn't spawn monsters and kill me, please. So now let's see, we have a fair amount of, you know, I don't know, some bone meal in here. I have plenty of bone meal in here. So theoretically, if I turn this thing on, it should just work. The stone generators are already going. If I turn this one on, we should see it happen. Something's wrong. I didn't put my water buckets in. Okay. All right. We're turning it off. Turn it off again. Let's make sure we have our water buckets in here. That's an important part of this. This is why we test. Okay, here we go. Oh, I fell in lava. Oh, no. Anyway, yes, final test. Okay. Something's wrong with this one. Oh, I see. My dust didn't go quite far enough. Nice. Okay. That seems to be doing it. That's definitely working. So let's go. Let's see. If I go down to the bottom now, we have a farm running. We should be getting pale moss and pale moss carpets. And look at that. We got pale moss coming in. We have carpets. Any carpets coming in? The carpets probably come in slower, so we might not be seeing any right away. It also, the system could be clogged with pale moss. Like this farm might be too good. Possibly. No such thing as too good, obviously, but it's possible that I need to revamp my storage a little bit because there's a bunch of stuff accumulating in here. I might actually need well, I guess better for it to accumulate in this chest than to accumulate in this hopper, right? So what if I just did like that, and then I could go around to the other side. Then I could go around to the other side. Where am I going? Okay, I can go around to the other side, yes. I don't need these here anymore. Or this. I just want to get to the other side. Come on. Okay, here we go. We'll go like this, like that, like this. And then let's direct this in there also like that. So now hopefully any overflow stuff that we're getting will just all accumulate in this chest, and then it'll all flow down. So that's fine. Cool. So it's clearly working in like moss mode. Let's try it in bone meal mode. Well, I can hear them. I can definitely hear the composters filling up. And look at that. They are filling up like crazy. I may need to do something similar here. Like the bone meal might actually be coming in too fast to keep up with. No, there's no way, right? This farm can't be that good. Let's see. It's all flowing into this crafter. Yeah, no, we're fine. We're fine. But you can see it's flowing into the crafter. And then whenever all 9 of them fill up, there it goes. It makes a bone block. And so we should see those bone blocks coming down into here. And I think the reason we're not seeing any yet is just because we have the filter. The item filter needs to fill up probably. We also have a bunch of other stuff coming in still. But yeah, in theory, we should start to see some. I want to like see that just to confirm it. Here's the item filter. Okay, yeah, it's at 34. So once this hits 41, then any additional bone blocks will start going into that slice. So let's just double check. Let's make sure that we see at least one come in here. I would guess that right now it's just clearing out like random other pale moss and stuff, which I should be able to check. We can look here. So here's one of the chests that has stuff in it. Here's the other chest. Yeah, so this thing is finally emptying out. All right, let me put away some of my stuff. This is a great success so far. I'm very pleased with this. I think I can probably, I'll leave up the scaffolding and stuff for now. I want to tidy this up. I want to make it so that like, you know, I can flip a single lever from all the way over here and it'll just turn it on and things like that. But for the time being, I'm fine with the little separate levers. Hopefully nothing horrifying is going to spawn up there. Let me just add a little bit of light here just in case. Just to be safe. Just in case. And let me clean myself up a little bit here. We got our special subscribe item in there. And let's see. We can just dump stuff into our themed chests. It's important to stay organized. All right, let's pop all this stuff in here. Did I grab any wood stuff? I guess not really. This will be a lot of this. Cool, cool, cool. We can throw it all in here. I like this system because I don't have to think about it too much. I can just spam click and it mostly just goes in. All right. There's all that. And then glass there. Cool, cool, cool. Any random other stuff? I guess I was storing some obsidian in here. And that's it for that, I guess. I don't really need this invisible item or invisible armor stand that was right there. I can toss that. And then, yeah, this is all pretty much trash. I'll take this out of here because I don't want to mess with that. Okay, yeah, I think this is like looking pretty good. So let's see if we've got any bone blocks filling up here. Here's the item filter. Wow, yeah, it's already at 41. So we should have, nice. Okay, cool. So we already have bone blocks coming in, which is really the goal. So this farm is working and is going to get me a bunch of, I didn't have it in like moss mode, so we're probably not going to have much of that. But look, oh my gosh, look at how much pale moss there is after like being on for like 2 seconds. Wow, that's actually pretty crazy. That's so cool. And a bunch of carpets as well. Wow. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and call this a smashing success. I'm going to turn the farm off because I don't need it on anymore. You know, I'll come back here and AFK for like an hour and get like more of any of this stuff than I'll ever need. That's super exciting. There it is. Wow. Let me take my helmet off. The moss farm. Look at that. At long last, we've got a working moss and pale moss farm. You have to manually swap out the moss block for the pale moss block, but I'm fine with that. We can have them in compost mode where it will produce bone blocks auto-crafted for every moss and pale moss that we get and all the associated little organic items that get generated. Or we can turn off the composting and have and just get the items themselves, which is pretty exciting. So that's a success. Let me grab my stuff. I think I'm pretty much done here. I'll grab this stuff. I will dump it into the spaceship, and I think then we'll call it a day. But let's just head over there. Look at that. It's majestic. A new farm. For the first time in quite a while, actually. I've got too much stuff. I don't want this stuff in my hands. Hey, there we go. Isn't this so cool? I'm so excited about it. All right. And with that, let's just head back to the spaceship. Let's dump in some of our stuff. I'll restock my things, but I don't have to do that on stream. I will never understand redstone. That hurts my brain. I know I understand that redstone is daunting, and just to look at something that is a redstone monstrosity that doesn't make any sense at a glance can be definitely overwhelming. And trust me, when I look at some redstone contraptions, it hurts my brain a lot. But ultimately, if you break it down into really small little bits, all redstone is really is a system. It's You create one tiny little part that does the thing that you want it to, and then you create another tiny little part that does the thing that you want that one to. And then when you get them all together and you get all of them working and hooked up, you end up with something that is greater than the sum of its parts because it works all together. And that is the beauty of engineering, frankly. It's the beauty of creating complex systems. You just small piece, add them all together. Then you have something that's a little bit bigger that you still understand how it works. Then you link a bunch of those together and you have something even bigger than that you understand how it works. And you link a bunch of those together and you have something absolutely crazy like this spaceship storage system where I'm at now. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to call it here. This has been a blast. I'm really happy to have pulled together that that farm. Oh no. No. Just as I was doing my outro. Starting over. Seriously though, thanks so much to everybody who joined for this. I thought this was really fun. I am very excited to have a working moss farm that is going to create more moss and more pale moss than I will ever need. And hopefully enough bone meal and bone blocks that I will never need to ever think about needing bone meal or bone blocks again, which is really exciting. And that's the goal. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you have a great evening or morning or afternoon or whatever time it may be for you. And on that note, I will see you next time. Thank you so much and have a good one.